We witnessed yet another sad reminder of dangers faced by students and educators this week. The events in Oxford also reinforce the importance of teaching students and educators what to do in an active shooter situation. News 8's Joe LaFurgey sat down with Grand Rapids Executive Director of Public Safety and School Security, Larry Johnson, one of the nation's top experts in school safety, to talk about keeping kids safe.
First, you duck, and then you cover. And very tightly, you cover the back of your neck and your face.
We've come a long way from duck and cover when school children were convinced they could save themselves from nuclear fallout by hiding under their desk. Today's threat is just as frightening and, unfortunately, more realistic.
You cut on the TVs and you start reaching out to folks and you say, no, not again.
Grand Rapids Public Schools Assistant Superintendent, Chief of Staff and Executive Director of Public Safety and School Security, Larry Johnson, says the district's active school shooter plan is designed around staying safe for 20 minutes, the time it may take for law enforcement to arrive.
And we're confident we can do that in Grand Rapids within 3 to 5 minutes. We think we can have them here, but we train for 20 minutes.
The school's training emphasizes getting out of harm's way, escaping out a door or a window. But if they can't leave, GRPS trains staff and students to lock the door and get to the back of the room.
We don't necessarily teach barricading the door, and I'll tell you why, Joe. The time and effort that it takes to barricade a door and moving furniture, number one, you're making a lot of noise and you may be drawing attention to you.
Perhaps one of the most important elements of GRPS's plan is silence, so the person that wants to do harm on the other side of that door can't hear what's going on in here. That goes for digital noise as well. As was the case in Oxford and other school active shooter cases, many students were communicating with the outside world on cell phones. Those communications can provide valuable information, but they can also add to the risk.
We have to now train our kids, don't do that during an emergency lockdown because it projects where you may be, and we don't want that to happen. We do not want to give the intruder an opportunity to know where kids are in the building.
Johnson is also vice president of the National Association of School Safety and Law Enforcement Officers. He says Oxford marks the 26th school shooting in the U.S. for 2021. 13 people have died.
I think we're getting closer to an answer, Joe, but the answer is not coming fast enough.
He says training students and staff to handle a situation is invaluable. That same sort of training in Oxford likely saved lives this week. But Johnson says more needs to be done to prevent these kinds of tragedies in the first place. And that means more mental health services.
But not only in our schools, but in our community, and making them more available to families who is in crisis.
GRPS trains for active shooting and other incidents the second Tuesday of every month. The public is welcome to attend. We have more information at woodtv.com. In Grand Rapids, Joe LaFurgey, News 8.